Okay, now we're going to go in the other direction. We're given the series and we have to change it to sigma notation. So I'm going to draw my best sigma right here. Now, as you might have noticed in the last one, you have a couple different options here. We could say the 9 is one term, that's the second, that's the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. We could do that, that's fine. But I think it might be easier to say that the 9 is the 0 term, and 13 is the 1, 17 is the 2, 21, 3, 25, 4, and 29, 5. And here's why. All I have to do is figure out, this is the 0 term, right? And then we'll put as p here. If n is 0, and then p is 9, and then n is 1, and p is 13, just look at the difference here. 4, right? And that difference is 1. Divide them. 4 divided by 1 equals 4. That means you're multiplying by 4. So we're taking n, we're multiplying it by 4. 4n. And then all we have to do is look at the very first one and say, okay, well, if you do 4 times 0, what do you have to do to get to 9? You have to add 9. So if you call 9 the 0 term, that means you're going all the way up to the 5th term, which is 29, and your equation is 4n plus 9. Now, you could also, if you want, you could say this is the first term, second term, third term, fourth, fifth, and sixth. In that case, you're going to have this here. You're going to have n equals 1, and you're going to be going up to 6. Okay. Your equation is going to change, however, because in this, you have n and then p. Okay. And then remember, now that n is 1, p is 9. N is 2, p is 13. And now, if you look at this, it's going to be a little bit different. That'll be 4, that'll be 1. So you're still going to have 4. But now, let's focus in on this relationship again. You got 4 times 1 plus something equals 9. Well, now you got 4 plus 5 equals 9. So under this configuration, if you're saying n is 1, then your equation is 4 times n plus 5. Either of those will work, but I think it might be easier to start here. Okay, let's look at another one here. N equals, and I'm going to start with 0. That means I'm going to go up to 3, because that's a 0 term. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now I'll make my little thing here, the n and then p. So the first term, or the 0 term, is 3. The first term is 8. The second term is 13. And I really only have to do the first 2. So that's 5, right? The difference there is 5. The difference here again is 1. 5 divided by 1. That means I'm multiplying n by 5. So look at this first one again. I've got to put in 5 times something equals that p-value, which is 3. Or I should say 5 times something plus something. And if we have 5 times n, and n is 0, well, that would be 5 times 0 plus something equals 3. Well, 0 plus something equals 3. Well, that would have to be 3. So that means my equation would be 5 times n plus 3. Okay. If you did it the other way, if you said that this is going to be this term 1, term 2, 3, and 4, that changes the game slightly, but not really. We're still multiplying by 5, but instead of having the outputs we had last time, we're going to have slightly different outputs. So NP, in this case, 1, the output is 3. The second term, the output is 8. So you can see, once again, we're still multiplying by 5. That doesn't change. But now, when we do 5 times 1 plus or minus something equals 3, well, that would be 5 minus 2 equals 3. So that means now we're doing 5n minus 2. So alternately, you could have n equals 1. We're starting at 1. Sigma up to 4. And that would be 5n minus 2. So either of those two would work. Okay, here's one I'd like you to try on your own. When you're done, on pause. And challenge yourself to get 2 different answers for this. Okay, if you used the First strategy, where n equals 0, you should have sigma n equals 0 going up to 6, and then 8 times n plus 3 is your equation. Now let's see what happens if you chose to do n equals 1. Alright, for this one, n equals 1 and goes up to 7, and 8 times n minus 5, because in this case what you'd do is if you plugged in 1, you'd have 8 times 1 plus or minus something would get you to 3, and that would be 5. So either one of these two will work.